what I want to do today is I want to very distinctly teach you the difference between a trainer and a coach, okay? And then knowing what the difference is, how does this apply to you being successful, and how does it apply to you reaching any goal you set long-term, not just short-term anymore, okay? Because we are over that fit for 12 weeks and then throw off the rest of the year, okay? That's done. So take a second and think, what do you think the definition of a trainer is? And what do you think the definition of a coach is? Okay, you may be thinking, I don't know, they sound the same. They're different, okay? So what do you think that is? I'll give you a second and I'm gonna ask some of you what we can think the definition is. What is the difference, okay? So let me see, Annie, unmute yourself. Annie LaChance, if you can figure it out. I'm calling you out. If you can figure it out.
I got it, okay, good. I was actually typing.
So what's a trainer and what's a coach?
I feel so a trainer is probably someone that's there in the moment present, like coaching you through like a workout. And I feel like a coach is somebody who's going to give you guidance and actually teach you things that are more useful in everyday life.
Beautiful. Love it. Nice and short. Let's see what else. Who else do I want to call in? Maureen. I see that smile. Unmute yourself if you can figure it out. I'll give you a second. No, that's okay. I will call on Cecilia. Oh, I surprised her. I just saw her face. All right, unmute yourself. There you go.
Okay, I was just going to ditto what Annie had to say.
Mm-hmm.
Just a trainer, you're in the moment, you're at the training session, they work through a meal plan, they check in with you in the moment, but there's no follow through the week. Like you're in that 30-minute time slot and that's it. Go. Whereas a coach, you're being checked in. You can email, I need advice, like what's this, what's that, can I do this, can I do that? And you get a response to help you in your journey for the health. So
beautiful, nicely said. So ladies, this is the way it goes. So very important distinction here, okay? So show of hands, has anybody had a trainer before? Like a personal trainer before? Anybody had a trainer? Okay. So basically, yeah, a trainer is there and they tell you what to do, and sometimes they'll take you through it, right? They tell you what to do, but that's pretty much it. Maybe you're with them for an hour, but then you have 23 more hours in a day that they're not with you. So a trainer, it's really important, like what have they instilled in you in that hour so you're prepared for the other 23, okay? And the answer is not much. That is where a coach comes in. So a coach doesn't only tell you what to do, they then show you how to do it. That is the big difference, okay? It's not about just telling you what to do. It's about showing you how to do it and showing you how to do it best to fit into your life and showing you how to do it for the rest of your life, long-term, consistently, okay? And this is a very, very important distinction because everybody is on this call right now because you're struggling and you're looking for answers, right? Because maybe you felt like you were in control for a certain amount of time, but you lost control, you fell off, whatever it may be, long term, okay? So the difference is you do not need a trainer, you need a coach long term. You don't need someone just telling you what to do, writing you a workout program and taking you through it. That's not good enough, and I think most of you ladies on this call can agree. Because if you tried it before, you know it hasn't lasted, right? Sometimes you don't feel like going to your training session, so you cancel. And then you fall off, and then it roller coasters and snowballs out of control, right? Whereas coaching, okay, we keep you accountable, and we give you the tools to be able to continue in those, let's say, other 23 hours in the day that we're not with you, you're still prepared, okay? And that is so, so important. Because if I gave you the best meal plan in the world, if I gave you the best workout plan in the world, if I gave you the best workout clothes and the workout equipment, what would happen? What do you think happens in the comment? If I just gave you the tools, if I gave you everything you needed, what would happen? What do you think? What do you think? Not much. Sheena, that's it. Ding, 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 ding. Not much happens, okay? So has anybody tried programs like Weight Watchers, like Beachbody, like Keto, like intermittent fasting, all these hot topic names, you know, Atkins, Bernstein, like all these different ones? You know that they just tell you what to do. Right? But then when you're by yourself or you're overwhelmed or you're in an inconvenient situation or a tempting situation, you don't know how to handle it. So it would be an injustice and a disservice to my clients, to you Fit Queens, if all I did was tell you what to do. Because for the most part, you all know what to do. You know eating McDonald's is bad. You know you shouldn't binge an entire tub of Ben & Jerry's. You know that bag of pretzels shouldn't be finished at midnight. Like, we know what we shouldn't be doing, but that doesn't matter. We still don't do it. We still don't follow through, even though we know it, right? I went through my own weight loss journey. I've lost over 70 pounds, ladies. And if I gave you documentation of what I did every day, what I ate, the portions, the timing, the workout, exact workouts, if I gave you that, is that enough? If I gave you my whole blueprint for what I lost 70 pounds, is that enough to make you lose that much weight? No. Is this making sense? Do you agree with me? So, ladies, the missing puzzle piece, and anybody right now on the academy, I know Casey's on, Mackie's on, Katie's on, all these academy ladies, you guys know. I had a call with some ladies last Sunday, and I was like, what is the secret? What is the one secret? If you could tell anybody in the world, what's the one secret to staying lean and healthy all year round forever until you die? What's the one secret? And they said, coach, support. They know. They're in that mindset. And now I'm trying to bring everybody into that mindset, okay? Because I can give you every details, but it's not about what. You don't need a what anymore. You need a how. So stop looking for what's. What can I do? That new meal plan, that new workout app. It's not a what that you need. It's a how do I continually do it? How do I increase my motivation? How do I increase my consistency? How do I strengthen my follow-through muscle? How do I not fall off on the weekends? It's all of these things that a coach is meant for, okay? Because it's not a thing. It's not a what that's going to save you. And if your health history has proven anything to you, it's that. It's not a what. You've tried all the whats, right? Who's tried too many whats? This, that, boom, bam. My friend did this. My husband did this. Ooh, this looks cool and new. Like, you've tried all the whats. Now it's time to try a how. How do I do this? And that's what a coach is really good for, okay? So that's very, very important when you're looking for guidance and you're looking for an actual long-term change, because there is an endless amount of trainers, right? We all know that. There's Instagram trainers, there's Facebook trainers, there's gym trainers. Everybody claims to be a trainer, but very few people have the skills to actually coach you in a way that shifts your thought processes, internally shifts you, okay? Because here's the thing, and this is really interesting, okay? I want you to wrap your heads around this for a second. So when I first got into this industry, so I was fresh out of the school, I was so excited to help people, and based on what I was taught and based on what was available in the marketplace, that's how I decided what I thought people needed. So because everything that's marketed to you guys is an external fix, right? Meal plan this, app this, supplement this, everything's like this a thing you need. I thought I needed to create a thing for people. That's what I thought. And unfortunately, that's what a lot of trainers think. They need to give this thing to you to be successful. And that's what I was stuck in, that trap, until I realized that the whole industry is flawed, and that if I want actual success in my clients and I want you guys to be happy and healthy forever, I can't keep giving you what the market has been showing me to give you. Is this making sense? So there are a lot of unqualified trainers out there. Are they good people? Absolutely. At most, and the good thing about the fitness industry is a lot of people get into it because they genuinely have a passion to help people. But there's a lot of trainers who don't even know how to help you because of what they've been exposed to. And that's just crazy. Is that not crazy, guys? Because you go to these trainers looking for help, seeking guidance, but even your trainers have the same external savior mindset that you do. Is this blowing anybody's mind? So your problem is that you can't be consistent. You're losing motivation, right? Because we keep looking for a what. And guess what? The trainers are trying to give you a what because they think that's genuinely what you need. But you don't need a what. You need a how. And that took me a long time to figure out. And that's why this is so different, okay? Because we show you how to do it forever. all the tools you need so you're not caught off guard, so you can strengthen your willpower and you can do it forever. So very, very important, guys, when you're navigating this huge industry just bombarding you with information, it's not about who knows the most. It's not about who can give you the most things. It's about who can teach you how to implement consistently forever. Is this making sense, guys? So I want you to, what my goal from telling you this is when you see all these ads, when you see these TV commercials, the Instagram models, when you see all these people who claim to be trainers, or some of them even use the word coach now, that's a really trendy word to use, coach. I want you to just recognize that if they're just selling a thing, if they just are showing you that a thing is all that they have to offer, then that's not going to be deep enough, okay? Because we know that your body is a symptom of your lifestyle. So if the trainers just target your symptom, aka they just target your body with a what, it doesn't last. Is this making sense? Love it. So it's not a what, it's a how, okay? Now that we know that, okay, in the comments, how long do you think you need a coach for? How long do you need a coach for? What is that time frame? What do you think? I'm gonna love these answers. What do you think? I love it. All the Academy ladies know what's up. I love it. They're like, forever! Love it. So yeah, it's forever, guys. And are you starting to see why? Are we starting to see why you always need a coach? Because right now in your life, I've given you pretty much every tool, everything that you're going to need. I've given you the whats. But it's the coach and the coach continuously guiding you along your journey and every phase of your journey, because every new phase, every time you level up, there comes a new challenge. And if you just think that the things I have given you are going to help you level up continuously, you're sadly mistaken. Because those things will only last you till you level up. Once you level up, you have a whole new set of issues and challenges to get through. And that's where the coach comes in. And that's why you plateau. That's why you fall off on weekends, or you binge eat, or you emotional eat, or you can't control yourself at birthdays or vacations. Because you don't have a coach instilling you with the how-to at that next level in your journey. Is this making sense? Very, very important distinction. This is something that I will preach until the day that I die, and that you can never hear too many times, okay? Because I was stuck for 10 years. I was stuck not knowing how the hell to help myself or how the hell to help my clients with real life-changing results. And it took me a long time to figure this out. And it's just mind-blowing, and it's so simple, but you need to wrap your heads around that it's not a trainer giving you something. It's a coach walking you through the rest of your life to some degree. Constant guidance, right? If an Olympic athlete makes it to the Olympics, do they fire their coach? No, they actually spend more time with their coach strategizing, right? You don't just cut something off when you reach your goal. That mindset is what's going to keep you trapped in the gaining, losing hamster wheel that you've been stuck on, or finding yourself starting to pick up on, okay? Really, really big concept, okay? So in your own words, guys, I really want to hammer in this point. So in your own words, comment, why is it important to have a coach forever? What does that do? What level, what step up does that give you? In your own words, okay? Some people believe this wholeheartedly. Some people are just learning this and digesting this information. So in your own words, why do you think this is important? Okay? Keeps you accountable, keeps you focused, exactly helps you with different challenges, guidance, support, discipline. There you go. Beautiful. So that's it, guys. All these wonderful traits that we always say out loud. We're like, I wish I was as disciplined as you. I wish I was as focused as you. I wish I had your willpower. Like, how many times have you said sentences like that to either your really fit friend or someone you see on Instagram that looks hot, right? You said like, oh, I wish I had her body and I wish I had her willpower. It's not a question of that, okay? I still have coaches. I've had business coaches, marketing coaches, relationship coaches, fitness coaches, weight loss coaches. I've had all types of coaches. Okay, and I will forever, and I love coaches. It is such a cool experience picking someone's brain who's elevated, who's leveling up and bringing you with them. So I'm a huge advocate for coaches and just hammering home, okay, why it is essential. And I'm not hammering this home to be repetitive. I am hammering this home so you can start to adapt your lifestyle and your mentality to this concept. Okay, so if I'm telling you, you need to have a coach forever, you need to ask yourself, what does that look like for me? How does that fit into my new life, right? Because can we all agree, ladies? Can we all agree if you want this new body or a change to your body, what you're doing now, something has to change, right? If you want change, something has to change. Can we agree? Right? So that means your routine and your lifestyle is going to be different over here with this future you. Something has changed along the way. So you need to see, how does this new lifestyle and mindset fit into my new lifestyle? And that's what I want to get into your head, okay? Because, and I posted this on my Instagram story today, and I love this. It's consistency compounds. Consistency compounds. It builds. It builds. You just slowly chip away at the rock with consistency. Okay, consistency, you do not reap the rewards hours later, weeks later, months later. You reap the reward long term. Can we agree? Consistency is the key. Consistency is the goal we all want. If we can just stick to something forever, all your problems would go away. Right? So consistency compounds, which means it builds and 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 it keeps building. And when you don't feel like doing it, you keep doing it and you build and you build and you build this monster foundation, and you're set for whatever life can throw at you. Injuries, sickness, family members disagreeing, parties, vacations, emotional eating, traumas. Like, you are set and you know how to be healthy and consistent through everything. So consistency compounds. Big, big, powerful statement, okay? And I think this quote was made famous by Tony Robbins. And the quote is, we overestimate what we can do in a year, and we underestimate what we can do in a decade. So take a second, ladies, and picture where the hell you want to be in 10 years. If nothing changes, you're going to be the exact same 10 years from now. So how old are you 10 years from now? 40, 50, 60? Do you want to be the same? Hell no. Hell no. No growth is death. No growth to me is the equivalent of dying. You grow or you die. So we overestimate what we can do in a year. And what I mean by that, yes, you can have crazy transformations in a year, even in a month, 3 weeks. Like, you guys know this and you're going to see it, right? You can have crazy short-term goals being reached, okay? But to really reap the rewards of that consistency compounding, you have to be patient. You have to start to enjoy the process instead of rushing for it to be over, okay? And you have to accept your new lifestyle instead of always thinking, if I only get there, I can go back to pizzas on Friday night. If I get there, I'll be able to binge drink on Friday night with the girls, right? But if you get there, do you think that person does those things anymore? Do you think that person does those things? No. And do you think that person misses those things? No. And that's the exciting part about consistency. Consistency compounds. And then one day you're going to wake up after putting in that work, and it's not going to be work. It's going to be automatic, like brushing your teeth. You're going to want to choose those things, want to do those things, actually enjoy doing those things. And that's the ultimate goal, because who wants health to be easy? Who wants making a healthy decision to be the one they actually want to make? Who wants to go to a restaurant and actually want to eat the side of salad instead of the side of fries? Who wants to be able to say no to the donuts, to the cake, because they genuinely just don't want it? They don't even crave for it and say no. They just don't even want it anymore. Like, is that not the ultimate goal? Where you don't resent making healthy choices, where you don't hate your life, drag yourself to work out, where you actually enjoy the full process. That is the end goal. And that's only attained if you put in the work now and accept that it's going to be work, okay? because even the trainers think it's not work. Even the trainers in the industry, a lot of the trainers, right? They keep giving you a thing, and that thing feeds your instant gratification. And then we keep seeking instant gratification. And when there is no instant gratification, when we don't see results, when it gets hard, when you feel like you're plateauing, when you don't see results, when you're like, what is this all worth? What is this for? That is when you have to compound that consistency. That is when it matters most. That is when the most change happens, not just physically, but up here. So consistency compounds, ladies, and that's something you need to tell yourself. That is a mantra you need to tell yourself when you don't feel like doing that workout, when you convince yourself, I'll just do it later tonight instead of getting it done early in the morning like you know you should. And I see some people smiling. You're all guilty. I'm guilty too. I'm guilty too. And here's the thing, okay? I don't want you to think that this is complicated. I don't want you to think that this is crazy hard and you're gonna hate every second. You're not, because that is what coaches are for. We make it simple for you. We don't, we do the calculations, we do the math, we do the hard stuff. You guys just follow through, and we follow through with you. So it's fun, so there's support, so there's strategy, so you're prepared. So you're covering yourself with armor from all angles. When you're in war, when you're in the trenches of life and you're being beat down. That's what's so cool about this tribe. And that's what's so cool about really, really going on this journey, okay? Because, ladies, honestly, answer honestly, have you ever gotten to that point? Have you felt that point yet? With a crazy supportive group, when you struggled but pushed through, have you even made it that far yet? Most of you have not. Most of you are stuck on that instant gratification. You start a program, you see results, life gets in the way, you fall off, you go backwards, and then you repeat for a couple years. Or if you're not smart, you repeat until the day that you die. And unfortunately, a lot of women do that. Fortunately, a lot of women cannot pull themselves out of that. And they do. And they wonder what it was. And it was the what that was the problem. They weren't looking for the how. Okay? So consistency compounds is my quote of the day for you guys. Also, another quote that I just freaking love. I posted this on my Instagram story today too. And it was, and maybe some of you saw this, and it's the biggest threat to future success is current success. What do you think that means? Comment. What do you think that means? Break that down in your own words. The biggest threat to future success is current success. Let's see if we can work that brain muscle. Decipher that one. That one's huge. It means it doesn't stop. Love it. Don't get to stop working. Ooh, that was good. Once you get successful, you stop working hard. And this is human nature, guys. This is human nature. We think we deserve things. We think we should reward ourselves. We think we can take a break because we've done so well. But do you know what the gift is on the other side of hard work? Can you take a guess? What's the gift waiting for you after some hard work? It's more work. It's more work. So accept it. Stop fighting it. Stop convincing yourself that you deserve a drink on the weekend because you had a hard week. Guess what? There's some other woman who had a way worse week than you, but is still able to be consistent. So don't fall into that trap of I deserve this, I need to reward, I need a break. If health is forever, why are you trying to take a break from it? That means you're not accepting it as a lifestyle change. You're still stuck in your instant gratification. You're thinking, I'm going to reach my goal and then continue my old lifestyle. But that future you envision will never come to be if you try to keep going back to that old lifestyle. They cannot exist simultaneously. That future you, that sexy, tight, toned, healthy, fit, confident you cannot come to fruition with your current lifestyle. Is this making sense? Is this clear? It cannot. They cannot exist at the same time. So every time you decide to skip a workout, to cheat on your meal plan, every time you decide against what you should be doing, you're saying no to that future you. And let me tell you guys, I still say no to my future me. I still get stuck in that trap. It's not like you're gonna snap into it one day and be a freaking supermodel and super fit athlete. Like, that's not how it works. You're gonna struggle, and I still struggle, but nowhere near as much as I have in the past. And it doesn't weigh on my mind, and it doesn't throw me off. Okay, this lifestyle, these old habits, these old cravings of comfort, they are still tempting. They're still there. But the thing is, I've now experienced this future me, and this no longer has power over me. And that's the key, okay? Because the biggest threat of your future success is your current success. If you currently feel good about your body, if you're currently like, oh, I only need to lose 5 pounds and I'll be good and I can keep doing what I'm doing, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Because if you think that you are okay where you are, you take your eye off the ball, you take your eye off the prize, and then all those negative thoughts, all those old habits, they creep back in. They creep back in. Whether it's in a week, whether it's in a month, whether it's a year later. Maybe you're able to sustain your healthy habits that you've built for a year, but it is only a matter of time. And I'm telling you guys this from experience. It took me 7 times to lose the weight. And every time I tried, I was so freaking close. And then guess what I did? I changed my program. I went on by myself. I tried something new. I thought I could do it by myself. And every time I made that decision, it screwed me up and it threw me back to square one. Square one? Is that a thing? Plan A? I don't know what I'm saying. Back to that starting point. And the point is, okay, you need to know the difference between a trainer and a coach. You need to accept the fact that coaches are going to be there and they need to be there. That is what we are for. The coach is there to guide you along that internal shift, to stop looking for that what, okay? Start looking for the how, and then for the rest of your life, practicing that how so that it becomes automatic. So that even if you feel good, or even if you feel like you don't need to progress anymore, you always do. Your current success, okay, gives you an ego. Your current success shield is kind of like blinders. It puts blinders on you from what your next steps could be. If you're happy, if you're content is a dangerous emotion. If you're content, if you're comfortable, if you're satisfied, that means you're not pushing yourself. That means it's only a matter of time till you fall off, because you're missing the point of this game. This is a game you're playing. Life is a game. Weight loss is a game. Don't fight it, play it. Don't outsmart it, play it. Don't think you can stop playing it. You always have to play it. And that's what the coach is for. We guide you along your game, okay? Very, very cool. So don't, if you have a good weigh-in, that means you get to work extra hard next week, not lighten up the week after. And we have a lot of, I know, and I'm guilty of this too. This is a big mental barrier to get over. A lot of people, when you have a good weigh-in, what do you want to do? You want to celebrate. How do you celebrate? You eat a little too much. Maybe you pick off someone's plate. Maybe that day spills over to the next day. You have a drink. You celebrate. Why are we celebrating? And why do those things equal celebration? What happened along our life that celebration involves so much food and so much alcohol? Why do we have such an emotional connection to those things? Is that making sense? Like, why is that how we celebrate? And that's how I celebrate. Like, I'm wired that way too, right? Like, something good happens, celebrate, have a party, have a drink, have a toast, right? Ryan is Indian and his family's Indian, and I think the word is mechai. So they give, I probably butchered that. Every time something good happens in life, like we opened our business, we bought a new car, whatever, anything good, you celebrate by bringing sweets home. Pick up some Timbits, pick up some cookies, and you bring sweets home. And that's embedded into a culture. And that's embedded into our mind to celebrate with food and drink, right? And it's just, it cripples us. It cripples us because celebration should be like you're celebrating something good that you did for your body. So how do you celebrate that more? You keep doing good for your body, right? So you need to separate that emotional link to thinking that food, when I do good, I deserve a treat. Like I'm a dog, right? Like how do you instill in a dog that they did good, that they sat well? You give them a treat and say, good sit. Why are we treating ourselves like that? Why are we training ourselves? Oh, you had a good weigh-in. Have some extra food. Good job. But now you associate a good weigh-in with extra food. Now you associate a good weigh-in with skipping a workout or having a drink. And we train and we think like dogs. We're training ourselves to respond in that way. Is that making sense, ladies? It's like it's an automatic response. You have to really watch your actions. Why are you doing something? What is motivating you to do something? Is this action, is this thought contradicting where it's coming from? Because that one is. And that takes a long time to unprogram. Okay, because food is love for a lot of people, right? Who has a nona or a grandma who just doesn't take no for an answer when you go over to their house? They just keep feeding you and feeding you. Maybe it's your mom. Maybe it's your aunt. They just feed you and feed you and feed you. You say no, they get offended. You say no, they get offended. What? And then guess what? You feel bad for offending them, so you eat more. How does that make sense? How does this help anybody? How does this help anybody? Food is not love. Food is meant to be emotional. It's meant to be joyous. It's meant to have these good feelings attached to it because if you, like, honestly, if you look back to the best memories in your life, there's probably food associated with it, right? An ice cream with your husband on a dock, eating your wedding cake, right? A nice restaurant meal. Like the best memories we have are usually associated with food at some point. So that's how deep it goes. Okay. But it's your job to have power over that emotion. Okay. Because celebration and victory and rewarding yourself, you don't have to just get those feelings from food or from drinking or from having a me day and being lazy. Those feelings and those emotions that those things bring up, you need to find other things that can stir those same emotions. Is this making sense? Are we following? So instead of, I'm going to have a piece of cake to celebrate my good weigh-in, you can say, I'm going to buy myself a size 4 pants because right now I'm a size 6 and I want to see those size 4 and work to fit into them. Right? So I'm going to buy new workout clothes. I'm going to give myself a pedicure. I'm going to go do a facial, get a massage, buy a new piece of exercise equipment, go for a walk with my family, do a workout with my family, get them involved, do a healthy cooking prep day and bake something healthy. Like there are so many other ways to instill the same emotions and evoke the same emotions we get from eating. But that connection is so toxic. Food doesn't control you. Food is not love. Food is not a reward. We are not dogs. And if you keep associating food with a reward, you're always going to be a slave for it, and you're always going to be looking for it. Like, ladies, how much space right now does food take up in your head? How much space? Like, honestly, how many times do you think about how much you're going to eat, what you're going to eat, when you're going to eat, when you need to meal prep? Oh my God, I have a party. I can't eat this. I need to bring this. How many times do you think of food a day? Probably over 100. It just pops up and leaves, pops up and leaves. What am I going to feed the family? Oh my God, my mom wants me to eat this, but I can't eat this. I feel guilty for eating this. Like, it takes up way too much space because we still give it power. Because we let it evoke emotions in us. We let ourselves have this emotional connection to food. But food is just fuel. It's just fuel. Without it, we die. With too much, we die. Cancer, diabetes, obesity, these are huge killers. And they all come from diet. So there's a sweet in between where you can enjoy your food, We can look forward to a nice meal, or to a date night, to a wedding, to a party. Like, you can enjoy these things and look forward to it. There comes a point where you have to break that connection and not give it power anymore. You can still love food and you can still have emotion around food, but it can't make you emotional. It shouldn't have power to make you feel guilty. It shouldn't have power to make you feel relaxed. It shouldn't have power. It should not. It's a thing. The only thing that should have power over your emotions and your actions is your mind. So you need to start by breaking that connection and strengthening that follow through muscle, okay? And realizing in the moment when this stuff is happening, right? Because who still suffers from cravings? We all suffer from cravings, right? They're there, but most of the time, why are we craving? Why do you think you crave, guys? What do you think? Why? What's like the one reason we crave? Emotions, bored, don't last long. Boredom. Yeah, okay. So cravings come from a bunch of different things, okay? They come because you're bored. They come because you're tired. They come because you're emotional. They come because you're procrastinating. They come because of a bunch of different external factors that are happening. Okay, but why in those moments is that what satiates that feeling we have of boredom? Why have we chose that? Because you can go paint, you can go for a walk, you can dance. There's so many other things that would make you not bored, right? If you're emotional, if you're stressed, there are so many other things that could make you stress less. But we choose food. Why? Because it's just been a habit for all these years. We PMS, we go for the chocolate bar. It's just an automatic habit. And now we associate that habit with feeling good, because it releases hormones. So it is just a habit, guys. It is not your emotions controlling you. It actually has very little to do with your body chemistry. Your body's not asking for it. Your body's not dying for it, craving it. Don't use the word craving to begin with. Craving is something you associate with addictions, with people who have drug and alcohol addictions. You do not have a food addiction. You do not. You just have a very bad pattern of disordered eating that you've been fueling and justifying with your emotions in response to choosing food. You're choosing food to cope, and then the emotion it brings is pleasurable. So then we always associate that food, that craving, with the pleasurable emotion. Right? For me, it used to be peanut butter. For the longest time, I couldn't figure out why I was losing weight. It's because I was eating peanut butter like it was going out of style. Like they weren't going to stock it anymore. I would eat like half a jar at night, like even more. Like I sat with a spoon and I ate it. And in one spoonful, there was 200 calories. That's in one spoonful. That's crazy. If I have 5 spoonfuls, which I did easily, that's over 1,000 calories. That's more than half my daily requirement. So it's just, if you don't, like anybody that says cravings, I have cravings, I have bad cravings, I have a sweet tooth. You do not. You don't. Okay? Stop identifying yourself with that trait. Stop calling it that. You just have a habit of snacking when you feel like X. When you feel bored, you have a habit of snacking. When you're PMSing, you have a habit of snacking. That's all it is. It's just a habit, and habits can be created and destroyed. Right? It's not impossible to build a new habit, right? Absolutely. We've helped women lose over 20,000 pounds so far collectively. So it's not hard to create a new habit. It just takes consistency, because consistency compounds. So the next time you are having a good weigh-in, or you're celebrating something, a graduation, a birthday, okay? Sever that emotional tie to that reward, to that thing you're celebrating. Sever it, okay? And then think to yourself, what's a healthy response to rewarding myself? Because yes, we should celebrate, okay? You should enjoy this process. It should be fun. It shouldn't be torture, okay? It shouldn't be like you're dragging your feet the whole time. You should enjoy it. So what else can you do? So you're telling me that food is the only thing that brings joy in your life? Is it? Some people it is, and that's okay. That's what we work on. We find other things, but it's not. There's so many other things that bring joy. So start associating your successes in life with other things that bring you joy other than the crippling things like food and alcohol. That's a bad emotional connection we have. Okay. And then once you start to realize in the moment what you're doing, it then becomes very, very easy in the moment to deal with cravings, to deal with emotions, to deal with busy days when you're tired, when you're bored, when you're procrastinating. It becomes very, very easy to assess the situation from a bird's eye view instead of getting caught up in our emotions. We know what's happening. This is just a habit. How do you change the habit? Well, you either replace it with something else or you resist the habit. Whatever's easier for you to do in the moment. Instead of having that chocolate, can you have a piece of gum? Can you have a glass of water? Brush your teeth, go to bed, do 10 burpees, replace it with something healthy. Or just avoid it altogether. Whatever's gonna be easier for you in the moment. And you can switch back and forth with you too. And then that kind of really frees you guys, right? Do you feel a little bit more calm, a little less overwhelmed, a little less anxious, knowing that you don't have to be a slave to food? Is that not a good feeling? And is it not a good feeling that this is actually achievable? This is actually attainable? It's not a fantasy that you're always going to be working towards, but never achieving, which is what it seemed like up until this point, right? Right. So I want you guys to just really be intentional. Really look outside of yourself as to why you're doing things, as to why other people are doing things. And be conscious of your intentions, of your motives, of these bad habits that you've built, okay? Because they've been there for decades, probably, decades. So they're not gonna go away right away. But just because they take a long time to go away doesn't mean you need to wait to start to address them. Okay, and that's a trap. Just because they're there, they'll be there tomorrow. I'll just do it next time. No, you have to do it now. No more waiting. Waiting is what gets you in the exact same place 10 years from now. And we all agree we don't want to be there. We want to be better. Whether we absolutely hate where we are right now or we're not too bad with the way we are right now, either way, there's room for growth. And growth only happens with action. But you have to decide to act. I can't do that for you. I can push you, I can motivate you, I can give you the golden 5, right? The golden 5 of how you need to wake up and tackle your day every day and how you need to live your life and make decisions and talk to yourself. That's what we do. But it's your decision to stand up for yourself. Are you willing to stand up for yourself? Are you willing to accept this new lifestyle? Are you willing to truly accept that it's going to change and stop fighting it? Stop fighting it. Stop thinking you can go back. Stop thinking you can start to incorporate other things you used to do. Accept that this is the new normal. And when you accept it, it does not become so hard. It's only so hard because you keep fighting it. You're like, this can't be it. Oh, I'll just push through, I'll suffer through, and then I'll just get to my goal and then deal with it. That's not what it should be. That's not what getting healthy should be. And in fact, if that is what it is right now, you're not healthy. You're not getting healthy because your mind is not healthy. That's not a healthy way of thinking. That's not a healthy way of processing information and coping, right? So accept this process. Accept that it's not easy, but it is not complicated, and accept that you need a guide the whole way through. You need a guide, okay? Because it is not about what. You guys have all the whats in the world. You need to know how, and you need to be reminded constantly of how to keep going. That's the key, ladies. And that's why it's so important to motivate each other and lift each other up and remind each other, right? In the academy group, it is so awesome. So every now and then, there's a struggle, right? We talk about our struggles, we post our struggle. And then all the comments are, do this, do this, do this. It's all solution oriented. It's not, oh, it's okay, you'll do better next week. There's no room for that. Here's your strategy, let's go. There's no room to be a victim. There's no room to hide behind excuses and hide behind bad behaviors and bad habits. There's no room for that anymore. Okay, if you want to grow, you got to grow. You got to look at facts over feelings. Stop looking at your feelings. Don't worry if you hurt other people's feelings. Don't worry if you hurt your own feelings, okay? Because who's had to come to some really big self-realizations? Who's noticed some not so good things about themselves? Everybody's hand should be up. We all have negative traits and habits that we've realized. But that's okay. Look at the facts. Just because these are the facts and you don't like the facts, you're not a slave to those facts. Because if you follow the Golden 5, if you constantly get coaching, those negative things are always changing and always improving. So you have nothing to be ashamed of if you're working on you. Okay? So maybe you're this person, maybe you have someone in your life who's this person, and they always devalue someone else's success, right? Oh, if I worked from home, I could be fit too. Oh, if my knee wasn't bad, I can be fit too. I could look like that. She doesn't work that hard. She has maids. I can do that if I had a maid. Like, we all have people in our life that talk like that. And guess what? Those are the people who are too afraid to face the facts. And the facts are that they're lazy. But you ladies are staring at your facts in the face, and you're not letting them discourage you. You're not letting them feel guilty. You're not giving them power anymore. You're taking control. You're saying, yeah, this is me. This is all of me, flaws and all, but today I am working on it. Tomorrow I am working on it. The next day I am working on it. Instead of living in your excuses. The people who judge the most, the people who make excuses the most, the people who get defended and offensive the most when you bring up their health or their body are the ones who are not going to change. The ones who are not willing to change. And we all know those people. The people who get defensive or mad, or try to make you eat more around them, or try to make you skip a workout when you're around them. They're the people that aren't going to change. So there's nothing to be ashamed of. Embrace all of your scars and all of your ugliness. We all have it. Embrace it, but there's nothing to be scared of. There's nothing that we can't tackle as a tribe, like nothing. And that should bring you such peace and such hope and such confidence in yourself that nothing matters. Nothing else matters. No one else's opinion, no one else's judgment. You are on your own path, and you know in your heart what the right path is. You know. And that's how you're successful. Embrace the good with the bad. Embrace the good days with the bad days, the good habits with the bad habits. Embrace it, accept it, and then keep doing better. 1% better every day. That's all it takes. Never perfection, always progression. If you're not growing, you are dying. So what have you put into place right now? And what have you put into place for your future to make sure you're always growing, that you're breaking bad habits, you're breaking behavior patterns? What are you putting into place so you can start to have a coach the rest of your life? These are things you need to think about, ladies, if you truly want a transformation, right? We don't want to just cure the symptom anymore. It's not about just losing weight and getting toned. Those things come, and they come very quick, which you're probably noticing with the right tools. We are experts in getting you to your, fast tracking your dream body. That's what we're known for. But it happens. Do you know why it happens so fast? Because we are also experts at tackling up here. And that's the difference. So what are you doing to constantly tackle up here and shift up here? Okay, ladies? So quickly write your takeaway in the comments, okay? One key sentence that you want to remember to apply to your life today going forward. What's that one sentence that you want to remember? Okay, after everything I talked about, the difference between a trainer and a coach, okay, compounding consistency, watching out for current successes, clouding your future successes. What's that one thing? The Golden 5, needing a coach, consistency and accountability is key. Don't let your emotions have power. Can never go back to the way I was living. Very powerful stuff. Consistency compounds. It doesn't end after 21 days. Exactly. Implementing, not information. Perfection over progression. Beautiful. You guys got it. You guys got it. You know the secrets. You know all the freaking secrets that you're ever going to need to know. You know it. You just need help implementing it. And saying it is one thing, living it is another. So remember this sentence you are saying. Nicole says, Academy, here I come. I love that. So remember that sentence that you just wrote. Remember that sentence you just wrote. Did you just write it because it sounds good? Did you just write it because you think you should have? Or are you going to actually live it? That's a decision you have to make, because it's very easy in the moment to get excited, to get hyped, be like, oh my God, I learned something new. My mind is blown. Thank you, Madison. Like, it's so easy to do that. And then tomorrow you forget. Tomorrow, it's not as important to you as it was today. Tomorrow, something happens and you fall off track. Write down your goal. Write a letter to yourself. Write down all these things that you want to accomplish. Write down all these things you want to wake up and embody. Stick it on your bathroom mirror and read it to yourself every morning. Ryan and I have a letter to ourselves on our bathroom mirror, and we read it. We read it. We read it so we can remind ourselves of who we want to become and all the work that we've done and all the work we still have to do, because it's never ending. But that's the fun of it. That's the fun. And that's why it's quite lonely where I am. It's quite lonely because not many people make it to where I am. Not many people make it all the way here. For the people who do, game changer. Game changer. Life, oh my God, guys, you have no idea. No idea. It is amazing. It is amazing what mastering up here does to your body, does to your relationships, does to your habit, does to your routine, does to everybody. Like, look at this platform I have. This is amazing. If I just instill one thing in each of you, you go instill it into one person. There is 50 people on this call right now. If you talk to one person, that's 50 more people. So I've just helped 100 people with your help. And it just builds and it builds and it builds, and it's amazing. And that's why this is so freaking cool. So don't just think that knowing is enough. Okay? Implementing, okay? Imperfect action is better than perfect inaction. Don't fall victim to trying to be a perfectionist. Nothing is ever perfect. No time is ever right. You'll never have enough money. You'll never have the support of your husband 100%. These things won't happen. Imperfect action is what's going to get you to where you need to be. And do you want to get there, ladies? Do you want to reach that future you? Do you want to reach her? Do you want to finally fucking meet her? Of course. So let's do it. Stop getting in your own way. Let's do it.